Does that ever get old? It never gets old, does it?
No, it's kind of like the ultimate movie memorabilia.
This isn't actually a low-budget version of Star Wars, it's a high-budget version of an Ottawa Sun news video. This isn't the real R2D2, but it's pretty close. I'm actually partially in a Stittsville living room right now, not far from where R2 here was built. It wasn't built by George Lucas, it was built by Jason MacDonald.
There's probably only, well, I don't know, maybe 100 R2s, and there's a lot in process, but people, as they start building it, they realize how expensive it gets and how challenging it gets, and you see a lot of people giving up. I started with the bare frame, and the first I made it out of MDF, and then quickly realized, well, if MDF gets wet, or it's not the greatest wood to work, it's not very strong, the joints can wear out, so I made it out of plastic. And then as I started putting it together, the plastic I used wasn't strong enough. There's a lot of stresses on some of the joints, so I made it for the third time out of a nice thick plastic.
Jason is actually a member of a group called the 501st. It's something that's named after Darth Vader's henchmen. They are essentially a worldwide charity organization of people who are obsessed with the Star Wars stuff. They make it, they collect it, they wear it, parades. You probably have seen them around. And that's where the idea to build R2D2 started. I'll give you an example. Here's a helmet that Jason made, Boba Fett's helmet, and he bought it sort of an off-the-shelf kind of way, and he made it his own. He's replaced the glass and all these little dents. Now, every single mark on the helmet is pretty much as accurate to the film as possible. They will stop the film frame by frame to make sure they've got each one absolutely accurate. They also will get the plans, and they have these in the Smithsonian, and it actually fits, and it's got the remote control scope on it. And he's even got his gun. This is so awesome. I could stay here all night. Some
of the members would freeze the frames of the movies, and of course it got a lot easier with the DVDs. You can go frame by frame and see what combination of LEDs are lit up, and just pause the frame and what ones are blue and what ones are white. And there's a little, in some of the scenes in the movie, you can see this little grid pattern behind the plastic. So what I used was the cover for a fluorescent light. This part here is originally from an airplane reading light. I had them built in 3. But I have 3 young kids, so I only get a couple hours here and there when I can sneak down to the basement and work on them. You're just constantly fixing stuff, so he's got an electrical problem or a drive problem or something. It's a great engineering exercise to go through and mentally disassemble them and reassemble them and rewire them if you have to.
Same to you. What R2 is actually trying to tell you is that no sooner had Jason finished the construction of this R2 unit that he found out that he's not the only R2 builder in Ottawa. In fact, he's not the only R2 builder in his neighborhood. There is one other, only about 5 blocks away. And I'm sure he probably would have used him as a resource if he had known. In Stittsville, Doug Hempstead for Sun Media.